page 127. And if you have your paper in your packet, great. If you don't have paper in your packet, please title this Analyzing Changes in Character. And then we need a column for how was the character in Mexico and how is the character in California. So I'm starting with Esperanza, and I'm on page 127 and 126. So this is the part where she says, how she used to be bathed. Hortensia had given Esperanza her bath since she was a baby. They had established a routine. Esperanza stood near the tub with her arms outstretched while Hortensia undressed her. Then they got in a tub, and she tried not to wriggle while Hortensia washed her. She tilted her head back, and Hortensia rinsed her hair. So in Mexico, Esperanza was bathed and dressed by Hortensia, who was the servant that lived in the house. So now in California, Hortensia is really an equal to Esperanza. And so when it was time for their baths, their first bath, Esperanza goes and stands by the bath with her hands out. And everybody's like, what are you doing? And that's when the mom goes over and whispers, I think you're old enough to bathe yourself now. She's 13 years old, so she definitely should be able to bathe herself. So now I'm on page, so this was on page 125, and then on page 126, no, it is page 127, is when Mama leans in and says, I think it's time that you bathed yourself. Okay. So it's going from being served to serving herself, right? All right, now I wrote down this other page number. Okay, so this is also Esperanza. Tells Isabel stories of her extravagant life back in Rancho de las Rosas. So Esperanza tells Isabel stories of her extravagant life with pride. But on page 136, it changes to Isabel or Esperanza does not really want to tell stories. Anymore. Okay. Let's also do in Mexico, Esperanza had no responsibilities. And now Esperanza takes care of babies and the house in Mexico. So she has to take care of the babies and the house in California. I do want to squeeze in, even though there's only space for 3, I want to squeeze in one more. And I just want to talk about Mama. So Mama in Mexico was strong, head of household. This is Mama. And now she is working the fields and she is weak and sick. So Mama was the strong head of household, but now she's working the fields and she's weak and she's sick. So I'm going to go ahead and take a photo of this and post it to our group right now in case there's any parts of this you can't read. But I'm also going to read these out loud just to make sure you've got these all put down. So we're doing the changes in the character between what were they like in Mexico and what were they like now in California. So I'm starting with Esperanza, and the first three are about Esperanza. She used to be bathed and dressed by Hortensia. Now Esperanza bathes herself. Esperanza tells Isabel stories of the extravagant life with pride. And then Isabel does not really want, Esperanza does not really want to tell these stories anymore in California. In Mexico, Esperanza had no responsibilities. She just got to be a little girl. And then now Esperanza takes care of babies and the house. Finally, in Mexico, Mama was the strong head of the household. And now she's working the fields and she is weak and sick. She got valley fever. So once you're done writing that down, I'm going to go post the bin right now.